Hello, receiving teachers, students, and class.
Hello, Mr. Kwadabi.
Thank you. Please be seated. Right, teachers, we are still on the same strand, living things, substrand ecology, relationship, and interaction. In outcome, which is 7.2.2, interpretation and discuss relationship that exist in a community using a food web to show the human activity in that community. We are on Unit 2, Structure and Functions of Living Things. Today's topic is who's making that food? We'll be looking at photosynthesis 1, which is the first lesson. Right. We looked in our last lesson on bacteria and fungi, and we discussed some usefulness of fungi and usefulness of bacteria. Also, we discussed there, we found out their harmfulness of the two, the fungi and the bacteria. I'll give you 1 minute to discuss with your friends, in 1 minute or less than 1 minute, to discuss with your friends plants. How do plants make their food? Please discuss. Receiving students, you may also do the same. How plants make their food, or who makes the food for the plants? You can list down your discussions or how plants make their food. It is good for somebody to record your discussion, your answers. What is this? It's the food for the plants. An example. All right, have a look to the front. I'll give you an example. Right, your question is, who makes the plants? Now this, before you came to school, you had breakfast. Okay, who made your breakfast? All right, very good. Some of you are saying, my parents. Some of you are saying, I did it myself. Very good. Okay, in that manner, for the plants, who makes the food for the plants? Okay, let's have one answer. Evelyn will give us one answer. Who makes the food for the plants? Then we'll have another two before we go.
Sunlight, salt, water, and nutrition.
Sunlight, salt, water, and nutrition. Let's have another answer.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. We'll have answer 1. Third answer. Alan, the third answer.
Leaf.
Leaf. Okay. Alan's answer is leaf. Sorry. Leaf. And chlorophyll was our second answer. And the first answer from Evelyn was sunlight. Sorry, water. Salt. Salt, you see? Salt. And nutrients. Okay, we have these three answers. Have a look at these three answers. We have the question is, who's making that food? Now we are looking at plants, so who is making plants food? We have three answers which have been given here. You also have other answers. First answer is sunlight, water, salt, and nutrients. Our second answer is chlorophyll. Leaf is the third answer. You also have different answers. Okay, once you have your answers, your next question is, how do this or how do your answers tell you that they use this, or how do plants make their food? Is how do sunlight, water, salt, nutrients make food for the plants? How does chlorophyll make food for the plants? Or how does leaf make water for the plants? I'll give you a clue. You want the clue? Right. These are part of the one answer that you can give. This is all part of the answer. So I'll give. What's your answer? Oxygen. Oxygen is one answer. How does oxygen make their food? So if you say your mother, your mom makes, forget that. Your mom makes food. That's one person. Your mom can cook. Cut, chop, onion, fry your chicken, and you eat. But for plants, all right, let's have a look at some of the answers. Who could give us one of the answer? Okay, Shannon. Then Goodwin and Bagley.
They get the sunlight, salt, water, and nutrient, and it goes up to all parts of the plant body and make their food.
Thank you. Very good answer. Shannon will have Goodwin.
Plants are making foods to grow.
Plants making foods to grow. Okay, thank you for your answer, Goodwin. We'll have Bagley. Then Isaac. And Win.
The plant absorb the light energy required for photosynthesis and make food.
Thank you, Bagley, for your answer. Isaac?
Plants like bad smell so they can grow food like rubbish leaves and cocoa skins, corn skins.
All right. Like all those scrap foods like bacteria, leaves, vegetable peelings and others. Winnie? Win?
When the sun is shining, it eats the leaf, and when the sun is shining, it eats the leaf, and when we water the plant, it goes through the roots and boils with the leaf, and the food grows.
Okay, thank you very much for your explanation. Win? All right. All your answers are correct. They are partly linked to the way the plant makes their food. Now this is our question: how do plants get their food, or how do they make their food? Plants make their own food by doing something called what? Photosynthesis. So that is photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis? It's a very strong name, but it is a process. Yes, Alan. Thank you, Alan. Okay, we have Alan. Will give us.
Is the process by which green plants make carbohydrate.
Thank you. So what are they doing? What are the plants making when they go through this and make carbohydrates? Any others? What do plants do? What do plants do in photosynthesis? Jubilee, we'll have Jubilee. Jubilee will give us the answer.
The process of which green plants make high energy sugar and stretches from carbon dioxide and water.
Okay, they make sugar or simple carbohydrates. So what is that for? It is their food. So where do they make that food? Right, let's have a look at what photosynthesis is. Read, please. Okay. Right, like you've mentioned, let's have a look at this diagram. What do plants need for photosynthesis and where do they get them from? They need the first two things, the two things they need to make their food: light, carbon dioxide, water and minerals, as you mentioned in some of your explanations. And they need chlorophyll present in which part of the plant? Mostly. The leaf, good. And we need sunlight, which is air, water and minerals in the soil, chlorophyll in the leaves. So the whole process would look like this. Okay. All right, as we mentioned, where do photosynthesis take place? It takes place in which part of the plant? Leaves. All right, this is where most green plants make their food, in the leaves. What do plants produce through the leaves? We already mentioned in our explanation previously, they make their own food. What type of food do they make? Some of you mentioned that. Some of you mentioned it also in our last answer. Yes. What do you think?
Sugar.
Sugar. Right. They make sugar and oxygen for animals to breathe. So they exchange gas. If you can recall your last lesson on the functions of plants, one of their functions is to exchange gas. So they produce oxygen. They take in carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. Sugar for the plants, oxygen for human beings and animals to breathe and survive. Your activity number 1. Draw this simple plant, or draw your own simple plant, and your instruction is given, showing wedge and arrows how that plant makes their food. Copy the question down. Show in words using words and arrows also. All right, your next activity, copy down this table and complete the table. You may discuss with your friend when the activity is shown. So do the same also receiving students. If you're not sure, you have friends there to ask and your teacher to assist. Copy the table down. Have you copied down the table? I'll give you another extra 2 minutes to copy down the table. Copy down the table. There are also 2 questions that you will also be copying down. Why the arrow this way? Two plants. Which part of the plant? To you, to the leaf. All right, your questions that you will need to copy. Question 1, copy that question down. Second question there. You can draw later. Copy down your question. That's right. Right. All eyes to the front. We shall do our correction now. All the answers we have discussed in the beginning of our lessons. Your answers are there. Let's have a look at the whiteboard here on the front. And you will get your answers. Now some of you have discussed and given answers during our lesson. We'll have the first answer. Number 1. Let's have 1, 2, 3, 4. Sarah. Tara. We have Tara. Okay. Tara, number 1. Number 2, Cooper. 3, Maria. 4, John. Cooper, number 2. Write it clearly. Okay, Maria has written number 1, carbon dioxide that is found in the air. Check if you have that. Chlorophyll, pH. All right, thank you for others helping to spell that. Right, let's have a look at diagram. We have number 1, carbon dioxide, which is found in the air. Have a look at your arrows. Is your arrows pointing down to the leaf or pointing up to the word? If it is pointing down to the leaf, that tells us that it is going towards the leaf. It is absorbed by the leaf. If yours is going opposite, then it's going out. So check your arrows and correct. Secondly, we need sunlight, which is correct. Sunlight. Also check your arrow, the direction of your arrow. Where does the arrowhead points to? Okay, received by the leaf is the sunlight, which is needed by the plant also to make their food. Third one, from the leaf, the arrow is going out. So which means that something is going out from the leaf. So what is it that the leaf releases? Isaac?
Oxygen.
Oxygen? All right. Oxygen. Oxygen is also released by plants into the air. It also releases water, but here we can say oxygen. Chlorophyll, where do we find chlorophyll? We say oxygen. Chlorophyll, where do we find chlorophyll? In the leaf itself. So chlorophyll is contained in the leaf. In the leaf we have chlorophyll. We have chlorophyll that helps to attract the carbon dioxide and the sunlight and make the food using the water and the nutrients and salt in the soil. All right. Now with that you have done, you can now complete your table easily. So let's check our tables. Let's go back to our table. Table. What plants need to make food? They need light. Where plants get it from? From the sun. So all plants get it from the sun. Carbon dioxide, where do they get carbon dioxide from? From the air that is around us. Now where do minerals and water come from? From the soil. Lastly, chlorophyll. Leaf. It is in the leaf. It comes from the leaf. If you have that with you in your tables, very good. Now this leads to your question. Your question. Why is photosynthesis important for plants, animals, and human beings? Why is it important for all living things? Why is photosynthesis important? Why is it important? Plants make their own food by photosynthesis. So why is it important to animals and human beings and other plants that do not make their own food, like you looked at fungus plants? Isaac is awake this lesson. Thank you, Isaac.
It releases oxygen.
One, it releases oxygen, which is important for plants, animals. We breathe in oxygen, so we need plants to produce oxygen for us to breathe and live. Clement.
To keep us alive.
To keep us alive, yes. How do they keep us alive? Thank you for your answer. To keep you alive, how do plants keep you alive? Plants make their food and they keep you alive.
Because it makes air for people to breathe. People and animals.
All right, thank you for that answer. It makes air for people to breathe. One more thing, what do plants give us? We already said oxygen. What does it give us? It gives us food. You ate one part of a plant for your breakfast. One part of the plant you had for your breakfast. It must have been a piece of bread which comes from the seed, wheat. You must have ate a cow. You drank a cup of tea, a cup of milk which comes from an animal, but the animal eats grass, which is food for the animals. So you understand? You clear now? We need plants to survive because they provide us oxygen and food. The next question. Describe the process of photosynthesis. We have looked at that already in our next lesson. In our previous activity, which we discussed in the beginning. So let's have a look at our diagram before we go. This diagram represents the simple process of photosynthesis by plants in their process of making food or sugar or carbohydrates for themselves. Right, just summary points. Please copy down these summary points. Someone who is a fast writer, please, you may write that for everybody and share with the class. plants. Our key phrase for today is plants making food. Our next lesson topic would be, do plants need energy? And it will be photosynthesis number 2. Our materials that we will be needing is aluminum foil, paper clips, iodine solution, partly covered and uncovered leaf from the same plant, clean white plastic, glass jars, and ethanol or methylated spirit. Receiving teachers and students, you will need to cover the leaves from the same plants of the same size. One will be covered and one will be uncovered. Please mark and label so it will not be taken out by other students. With that, thank you receiving students and teachers, and thank you class.